nitty gritty, bleeding purple my city. Don't score with the Steelers, no enemy. Ozen some Hennessy, catch us out stomping the yard. Candy yards, my foot McCannery. See, it's nitty gritty, Nick and Keith gon' get litty. 2 times a week, giving keys to the city. Tune and get with me. I got that, seeing the game little differently.
Welcome back, episode 427, Nitty Gritty Sports Talk Radio Show. I go by the name of Roscoe English, and of course, I'm here with the flock. Got my guy Keys with me.
What's going on? How y'all feeling out there?
My man Nick.
Reach out and hug your neighbor, Skull.
I got love for all the little bros out there. And of course, last but not least, Keith PJ.
Skull, what's up?
Hey man, I can't complain, man. Can't complain. Y'all had an interesting bye week, but we're going to get to that first. Unveil my curtain. Wasn't a revenge game. It was a get-right game. Steelers beat the Browns 27-14. Russell Wilson completed 15 passes for 158 yards and 2 touchdowns. Jameis Winston completed 24 passes, 212 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Start with the offense. Going into the game, breaking news, no George Pickens. I'm sure Steelers Nation, as I was a little concerned how the offense would look, being as though he is our only receiver that mainly beats man-to-man coverage. You watch the Browns, you know, they mostly play man-to-man coverage. So who was going to be the receiver to step up and create separation? And early on, it was bleak. It was nobody. Arthur Smith in the play calling. He went to the pass a little bit too much because the run was working. Najee had it going on the ground early, but the pass game was a little discombobulated. 3rd and 2, you're doing moonball shots to Scotty Miller. That's never a good thing to see. So you settle for a field goal. You settle for a field goal early on. Defense gives up a touchdown, and it's looking like okay. It had the feel of the Jets game early on. Like, oh, okay, you're hoping that they can turn it around, but you just never know without George Pickens. But credit to Arthur Smith, credit to the Steelers offense. They kept it balanced. Guys made plays. Scotty Miller made a play here and there. Finally saw Mike Williams. I'll talk about his snap count later on, but Pat Freiermuth, Jaylen Warren had it going. He had the hot hand that game. The offense got it together because the defense did what they were supposed to do. They gave up that early touchdown to Jerry Rice. He looked like a little bit more Jerry Jeudy yesterday, so I was a little happy about that. I ain't had to come in here and talk about 2 games of Jerry Jeudy doing whatever he felt like doing against us. David Njoku was a non-factor. Look, they got playmakers, but they got constant pressure. Alex Highsmith came back, and you saw the difference with him being out there. TJ didn't get a sack, but he was in the backfield early and often. And you got 1 penalty from Joey Porter Jr. Other than that, you didn't hear his name. I'll take a game where I'd rather not hear his name at all, rather than to hear it 6 times for a flag. So defense kept everything in front of him after that touchdown. And once the offense kind of put more points on the board, you knew it wasn't going to be much of a game. So it was a get-right game, not a revenge game. Browns haven't beat us in Pittsburgh since 2003 when Tommy Maddox was a quarterback. So coming into our building, it's kind of a guaranteed win against the Browns. So it's good that you split. You never want to get swept by the Browns, and you don't want to hear those fans because that's all they live for. Y'all always say that y'all are our Super Bowl. Well, guess what? The Browns sweeping any of us, that is their Super Bowl. They have nothing to play for, especially this year. So good that we got that win. But the George Pickens injury is a little bit concerning. It is they're calling it a grade 2 hamstring pull, 3 to 4 weeks. They didn't play him. He tried to test it out. That's what they said. He tried to test it out early on, and Mike Tomlin, last second, he's thinking about later down the line, the playoffs, and you don't want to put him out there aggravated till you lose him for the playoffs. That's the main focus right now. So in a game that you feel like you can beat the Browns without George Pickens, cool. Saying he's questionable for next week against Philly. Beat Philly, you automatically punch your spot into the playoffs. I would love to see him out there, but we'll talk about that on Friday, Saturday, whenever we reconvene. But it was a good win, good win, good clean win. Wasn't too many mistakes. He had one turnover from Cordell Patterson. I'm getting tired of seeing them carries. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm getting tired of seeing Cordell Patterson out there. Seems like Arthur Smith is just trying to get his guy that he's coached in the past some touches. I'm getting tired of seeing him. It's unnecessary. It's unnecessary. And luckily, when he fumbled, the game was kind of out of hand. It wasn't like, the Browns were really in striking distance when he fumbled, but it's the fact that he did fumble. It's the fact that he fumbled. He's trying to, feed and you fumble. I don't need to see him. Definitely not in the run game with Jalen Warren and Najee healthy. I don't need to see him. I don't need to see him at all. Other than that, outside of the slow start, I have no issues with the offense. No issues with the defense. I'm lying. Open field tackling was a little spotty. Beanie Bishop, Patrick Queen had his one slip up a game. He had his one in open space. But other than that, defense was pretty solid. So all in all, a good win. Beat the Browns, get them out of the stadium. Fuck them.
Where was this energy when they beat y'all, though? You was nowhere to be found.
Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Look, we all
address the comments, Go, because a lot of people think you ducking.
I did. I addressed it last time we came on here.
No, I just feel a little different. It just feels a little different.
I mean, no. I addressed it last time. Beat up on
Jameis, sack him 1,000 times.
Here's the thing. We beat up on him that game. We beat up on this. Besides that last run, we look like Randall Cunningham. He played like shit. He played like shit. But yeah, I addressed it last episode. Look, guys, I talk too much shit to Duck. I called Jerry Rice when I came on here, man. Salute to him. But I'd be damned if I was going to apologize to him twice in 1 year. That just wasn't going to happen. So his 5 for 60,
and the
half of that came on one catch. I'll take that. That looked more like Jerry Jeudy than the previous game. I'll tell you that. I live with that. But I'm not ducking. Florida homie. My Florida homie. Homie. I'm not ducking. I'm never ducking. Look, I was here present for a funeral, y'all. I done seen it all. ain't nothing that could be placed in front of me. No weapon formed against me shall prosper.
Even the Ravens.
That's not a weapon.
That's not even a weapon.
You're called as a plastic knife.
But I wasn't going to duck. Even if we lost, I wasn't going to duck. Look, kids' germs are real. We've all been around them, and it just so happened it was. Call it a coincidence if you want. That Monday came.
A good coincidence.
Hey, yo, Keith.
If you needed to fight through, you could have, but it was no point.
Fight through for what?
Not that. And I told Nick earlier, look, that win didn't have me sick over the 4 years of doing this show. It's been a couple Browns wins that had me losses that had me sick. Benjamin throwing 6 interceptions against Baker Mayfield. Marquise Pouncey.
That had to top it.
Yeah, that's the top. Then Kenny Pickett not being able to beat Dorian Thompson-Robinson. And we held them to 13 points. We couldn't score 13 points. That was pretty sickening too. But that one wasn't even it was cool. It was in the snow. AFC North football. Didn't like Randall Cunningham. I mean, Jameis Winston running it in for the touchdown last second. But hey, shit happens. 3 losses. Got that get right though. Had to get right. I love the way that they blocked Myles Garrett. He was not a factor in that game until late. He had a garbage time sack, and he told us to be quiet. And then Kadarius Toney fumbled right after that. That's their franchise. They're losers. You're down 27-14 with 2 minutes left. Why are you telling us to be quiet? And then he said he's going to use them booing him for motivation next year.
Who said that? Myles Garrett?
Myles Garrett. Y'all want me to put him on a pedestal? Come on, I can't. He's very talented, but I just can't. He's a clown. He's a clown. The Browns are clowns. I didn't even know Kadarius Toney was still in the league, guys, until yesterday.
I knew he was in the league. I didn't know he was getting that many snaps. There's no way he should have been playing that many snaps. Cause this guy, what I tell you, get him out the league.
I think after yesterday, he's done. He's done. If Shanghai has a football team, sign him up because he's done. Between the 15-yard penalty.
And the crazy part about it is that shouldn't even benefit you because he wasn't very throwing the ball. He just tossed it. He wasn't throwing it at him, but he got that reputation.
And the reputation, and he hit him in the back.
He wasn't really throwing the ball at him.
I put it to you like this. If George Pickens was shooting people in the crowd, he threw the ball at Cuz. Hey, your reputation precedes you, and then he muffed the punt. Yeah, I was happy to see that Kadarius Toney is still Kadarius Toney. Never changed, buddy.
Good win for you guys, man. Big week next week versus
Mhm.
Philadelphia. That's going to be really important because you guys win that, the division hopes become all that more concrete. You know, it's very close to where you guys are comfortable there, but you know, a loss could make things a little murky going into the next week's matchup after that. So big win, big week next week.
Yeah, I think the breakdown as far as scenarios go early on, beat Philly, playoff spot lock, beat y'all, AFC North lock. So that would you want to beat the Chiefs on Christmas for just to let them know, because they 12-1. You want to let them know that you're gonna have to see us in the playoffs. You send that message, but that Bengals game week 18, you rest people. That's the goal.
Oh, now you like resting people week 18. How convenient.
Yo, now if we was playing y'all, I'd be pissed if we was resting people. But we playing the Bengals. Let them get one. Let them get one in their season on high hopes. Let them get one. But we don't need nobody getting hurt. Health. We can compete with anybody. We have to be healthy. So do what you gotta do with these last 4 games. So week 18 cannot mean anything.
For sure. I hate that I can't hate. So what you want me to say? I don't got no pleasantries for you. You guys look all right, man.
Hey man. I'm not really, because the hate would be forced. It's like if I came on here and started hating on Lamar. It's like, yo, come on. Yo.
I'm trying to force some hate. It's hard.
I know it's tough
hard nowadays.
It's tough. Like when you see Lamar doing that shit, it's like, God damn. If I come in and hate on him, they just gonna be like, all right, yo, you're not watching the game. So as far as that is concerned, just hey man, salute to Sierra. Salute to Russell Wilson. Salute to Arthur Smith. He ain't perfect, but from seeing what I have seen these last couple of years, he is a real NFL offensive coordinator, even with his flaws. He's a real offensive coordinator. Not too many are perfect. But hey, he ain't no damn Matt Cannon or Randy Fittner, I tell you that. And Mike Tomlin got them defensive boys. He got them right. I like Deshaun Elliott saying after the game, like, we still haven't put together a clean game. I think he's right. I think he's right. You can get some chunk plays on us, but we kind of close the lid when you get into the red zone. We do commit them. We get them timely turnovers. Shout out to Keanu Benton snuffing out the screen, getting that interception, especially after Hard Knocks. Watching that. Yeah,
he throws some idiot. He makes some idiot decisions. You see his talent, but golly.
Yeah, the Jameis Winston experience, you can't escape it. You're not gonna. I mean, last week against the Broncos, he had 400 and some odd yards, but he had 4 interceptions, 4 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. That's just who he is. Like you like to call him 30 for 30. He is 30 for 30 because the arm talent is still there after 10 years. Shit, he was on the shelf for a couple, so he should still have it, but you see it. He has a rapport, especially with Jerry Jeudy. He has a rapport with them guys, but he got to get out his own way. But after year 10, expecting him to get out his own way is a pipe dream. That ain't going to happen. He is who he is. You just got to deal with it.
Do you think that y'all having the worst strength of schedule in the league going to come back and bite y'all? Like, would it come up at all? Like, you think it like, and I'm not trying to be, I'm just asking for it because when I look at this, it's like really like, besides us, like, who have y'all really played? Not to say that y'all be, I mean, you only play on yourself, like what you're saying, but I'm saying, like, when they get to the playoffs and you got to play these tougher teams, and granted, y'all that is going to improve over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah,
with the Eagles next week, and then us again, and then the Chiefs. But you don't. I mean, how you feel like it's going to impact the team going forward? As far as you feeling like you always playing mediocre teams, I guess.
Our record against 500 teams is we've beaten plenty of them. Now we got them early, so we got the Broncos early. So the Broncos of today were not the Broncos when we played them, right? Y'all are, y'all are y'all.
Same as the Chargers.
The Chargers still had a number 1 defense, but he got hurt in that game. If you want to call it whatever you want to call it, that's fine. But we have played some at least some decent defenses, right? And hey, if the game is ugly, I'm comfortable. Last week against the Bengals, it was cool to see us put up points, but the Bengals defense is
Trash.
You know, it ain't nothing to speak on. I was just happy to see the points, but the way that the Chiefs are playing right now, I don't expect a shootout. I expect an ugly, gritty, tough game. That's in our wheelhouse. Call the Eagles game against the Panthers a trap game. Looking forward to us, but they can be had too. The thing about this year, Keys, to answer your question, it's real. It's not a real team where it's like, oh shit. Outside of the Bills humming, right, on offense, but they still got their deficiencies on defense too. It's not a team where it's like, oh damn, they just putting everything together in all phases, and you're scared of them. This is a literal any given Sunday season right now with the teams at the top. Like if y'all got in, in the AFC, if y'all got in, like would y'all be shocked if y'all went on a run? Nah, because each team you feel like you got a chance against. I have a different feel this year that I actually can say, yo, I feel like we got a chance against anybody this year.
Side note, that's the beautiful thing about football as compared to baseball, and also what basketball has become with people linking up and forming super teams or whatnot. You have your teams in the NFL that have a litany of talent, but regardless of that, it's too much of a team game. It's too many variables in football for things like that to occur to where you're stacking the deck. Most times, you're gonna have parity in the league, and to your point, Sco, you look at the AFC, you look at the NFC, look at the Rams. I wouldn't be surprised if the Rams were able to win a couple games in the playoffs and make things interesting. Look at a team like you talked about the Ravens, the Chargers, the Texans. Those teams, those wild card teams, they're not for play. They could win a couple games and have things interesting, as opposed to all the other teams at the top as well. So it is very interesting to see, especially as you see, like in baseball, the Dodgers continually loading up. You got teams spending $700 million on one player, and the Orioles don't even spend over $100 million on anybody, not even their own players that they draft. So it's it's just interesting to see. To your point.
This tournament is going to be really interesting. It's going to be really interesting because it's no team that you can just say, oh, like in previous years when we got in, man, we had no chance. Somebody had to get in at 8, right? So it's one of them years where the AFC could get hot and smack somebody, right? In the right situation, right circumstances, right injury, anything can happen. You mentioned the Ram, anything can happen. So our strength of schedule, yes, I want to see us compete against Philly. I want to see us compete against Kansas City. I'm lying if I'm saying that those aren't litmus tests for us, but with Russ playing quarterback like this, it gives me confidence that we can compete against anybody. If he keeps the turnovers low, it gives me confidence.
And that's something I think the national media and a lot of media should be talking about more, because when it was a Justin Fields, Russell Wilson conversation, the respect wasn't really put on Russell Wilson as much as it probably should have been. A Super Bowl champion. And being that, he's only had really one bad stint in his career, and that was, that year or 2 years in Denver. And nobody quarterback-wise has had success in Denver in a long time other than Drew Lock, I guess, if you want to call what he's doing success, which, he's having a decent rookie year. But as far as Russell's concerned, you saw him yesterday. No George Pickens. I mean, look at the receivers. Mike Williams was cut this year, coming off of injury after injury. It's not the same Mike Williams. Calvin Austin's a smaller but talented receiver. Scotty Miller, and just looking around, it's like, all right, I got to use Van Jefferson. All right, I got to use all of my weapons and make it work. Got to make some magic happen. And it looked pretty early, but, you can see the confidence in Russell Wilson, the joy in his game. He's Mike Tomlin, he believed in him from day one too, right?
Yeah, to piggyback off that point, and that stint in Denver and seeing him now, it kind of just looks like, him and Sean didn't get along, and it affected his game. It affected his game because he had the weapons there, and
Sean likes a certain type of quarterback.
Yeah, he does. They look like Drew Brees and Bo Nix. He likes a certain kind of quarterback. He does. He never really gave Russ a shot.
Yeah, and even by chart,
he never really gave him a shot. When you telling the dude, now granted, Russ went in there wilding. I want my own office. I want my own parking
It's
spot.
just feeling, you know how niggas feel.
Yeah, I'm coming from Seattle. I'm the man. I'm a Super Bowl
I got
champ.
Sierra, like I felt that.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, I need an office.
And Sean came in and was like, "Yo, you gotta stop kissing babies, dog." And you can see from right there. All right, it's always gonna be this. It's always gonna be this. To where as though you see Mike Tomlin when he's signing Russell Wilson. Oh my God, I love you. You saw it in his eyes. I can't wait for you to get out there in the field. And it was a reason why he always said, "Yo, Russ has pole position." Paul. Even after Justin Fields went 4-2, he never moved Russell Wilson from the depth chart at number 1. He never moved him. It might have been a controversy for us and everybody talking, but it was never one in his mind.
You want to know the funny thing is, I don't know if John Harbaugh plays that the same if he is overseeing the same exact situation. Because in that situation, I've seen far too many times where John Harbaugh was talking about guys earning their spot, and there's levels to earning your spot, right? Like talent and resume should outweigh some things. Even though, practice field and games may dictate other things, you should know the type of talent and the levels of talent you have on your team. Now, if somebody plays their way out of a position, that's one thing. But it's just interesting to see how Tomlin handled that, and I love the way he handled it because number one, you kept it honest with Justin, so Justin's expectations never were lowered, and you kept the confidence in Justin, so he's only going to be better for going forward because this was a successful stint for him, no matter what happens next year. And then Russell Wilson, you kept the confidence in him. It never was a quarterback controversy. I just don't know if John Harbaugh, if he were to oversee that same situation, I don't know if it would go the same way. Because if you think about it, the Joe Flacco and Lamar situation, that was botched. Like they weren't even working well together because John was, Joe Flacco had his kind of arms out and trying to keep, Lamar out of the position, and there really wasn't no clear rules or lines drawn in the sand about that.
Harbaugh couldn't do nothing with it.
Yeah.
We know what the answer would be with that. Like, and that takes me back to what Scott was saying. Like, just in watching that Hard Knocks and how Tomlin commands his team, how he talks to his team. You sit and watch the interactions Russ had with Sean Payton last year, and they all combative. But someone who understands you, someone who looks like you, and Mike Tomlin, you sort of see how he combats those battles for his players throughout the week, and he prepares them for those situations. And to go back to your point, no, John couldn't do nothing with the situation. All John going to do is just make a couple faces, smile, clap. He's not going to address the issue head on, and that's really the problem. You even see Fields with Tomlin on Sunday on the sideline. He's into the game. He's engaged. That's all because, like Scott said, Nick said, he set expectations. And so that's just good coaching. And you got to tip your hat to it. And you see why he's had his job for this long, despite the outcries.
We'll talk about setting expectations in Harbaugh in a little bit, but that's a great point. I mean, you have to be able to be honest and transparent to grown men. Yeah. And you can't be stringing people. I like to say this a lot, but these grown men stopped playing for joy and love of the sport a long time ago. Once you get to college and professional, like there's real money, real feeding my family energy behind this stuff. So, you know what I mean? Justin was able to go out there, put his best foot forward. And then now next offseason, I'm sure he'll get looks for a starting quarterback job. He looks at this as thank you, coach. And I get to be on a great team this year. And Russell Wilson, he looks at it as like, thank you for holding me down. Thank you for allowing me to get healthy. I didn't have to rush. I didn't have to feel like the young guy was over my shoulder and my time is up. No, I got to get healthy, get right. I was allowed to be rusty for a week or two. I was allowed to like get my feet wet, and then now I'm showing you return on investment. It's just awesome coaching. Fuck Mike Tomlin.
Speaking of that, I love that. Speaking on that, hey Russ, when it's time for contract negotiations, bro, hold us down. Your wife is rich, you rich, right? I don't want pocket watch.
Nigga.
No, he's still getting paid by Denver.
Nah, pay that man.
He getting that 38.
Pay that man.
30. He getting that 38 this year. He getting that 38.
No, he getting all that.
Yeah, he getting that 38 this year. We only paying him $1 million, but what I'm saying is we'll give that. He only 36, right? He 36. We'll give him a 3-year deal. Play till you 39, right? The offensive line is only going to be better once we get Fountainu back, right? Everybody is gelling. Give us a hometown discount. You like Pittsburgh. You like Mike Tomlin.
Already in your pockets, Russell. They
Oh, for
already in your
sure.
pockets.
Oh, for sure. You got to. Hey, you take that hometown discount. We go out get T. Higgins. Now you throwing the T. Higgins.
Ben ain't take no hometown discount. Run it up. Run it up.
No, he didn't.
Run it up.
AB didn't take no hometown discount. And look what happened.
Tell him you ain't Kenny Pickett.
Yeah, but here's
you want
the thing.
that or you want this? Pay up.
Ben didn't take a hometown discount, and we had Mike Davis playing safety. We had Artie Burns playing corner. You gotta help us out a little bit. Yeah.
Artie was a first round pick. Don't do that. That ain't had nothing to do with Ben.
He was
Trying to blame it on Ben.
Yeah, that's a draft pick.
He was.
That wasn't no free agent signing.
Mike Byrne. All the safeties we've had during the years. Look. The linebackers after Brian Shazier was so. Look, I just hope he gives us that hometown discount. But hey, all things are running well for the good guys that had a 2-game lead in the AFC North. Right. We can go to the first commercial break. Nitty Gritty.
When I want some sports news, Nitty Gritty is definitely who I'm tuning into, man. They show up each week with that uncut, that raw, that unfiltered sports news.
They say the things that everyone else wishes that they can say, but they can't.
Every Tuesday and Saturday, I am locked into my favorite sports show, Nitty Gritty.
Nitty Gritty, the best show out right now. Tune in and listen, stupid.
You know, usually during the team's bye week, you're worried about getting healthy, getting guys back into the fold. But uncharacteristically for the Ravens, they had a pretty exciting bye week with one specific wide receiver by the name of Deontay Johnson. So, Keys, I want to get your thoughts on the things that came out about him and not wanting to go in against Philly and the subsequent suspension.
I mean, yeah, cut him. What you waiting for? I mean, it's not like you need him. You're not playing him. So what's the point? I mean, you still got enough depth at that position where if he's going, if this is what you're getting from him, not I can understand, if he's hurt, all right, whatever. If he still understands people, but to just blatantly refuse to go into the game when after Bateman got hurt, and you needed him at that time. What's the point, man? Like this guy, he's a clown. He's been a clown. It's the reason why Pittsburgh traded him to Carolina. And they didn't have a plan. When you trade one of your best receivers without a plan, then that should tell you something about him. Is a reason why Carolina probably gave him away for a stick of gum. So yeah, this is worthless at this point. Is a non. You cut him, you're not gonna get the compensatory pick. So that's a reason why they'll keep him on the team more than likely because that's all they care about is draft picks. But this guy got to go. He's terrible. You refuse to go into the game.
Yeah, Nick, I posed the question, thoughts about what came out about Deontay not going in against Philly and the subsequent suspension.
Am I on mute? I'm good.
No, I'm good to go.
Yeah, man. First things first, typically, and in this situation too, I feel like if somebody refuses to play, you gotta let them go. But at the same token, I'm pro player in this one. I don't think the Ravens did a great job of communicating with Deontay Johnson what the role for him was going to be. And I feel like if you go out and make that move, and I don't care, I'm not really interested in what Carolina got for Deontay Johnson. I mean, look at Carolina. That's all I need to say. But as far as that is, I mean, you have to communicate with grown men. I said it a couple minutes ago. This is not peewee football. These guys are playing for their careers, for their life, to feed their kids. He's in a contract year. He's 28 years old. You got to think about, just put your feet in his shoes. This man is a talented player, and he had to play with Kenny Pickett. He had to play with Mason Rudolph.
Mm-hmm.
He had to play with
Duck Hodges.
Duck Hodges.
He had to play with Bryce Young when he was struggling. He had to play with Andy Dalton. That man just trying to get paid. He's looking around the league, look, all these other receivers, everybody's getting a great deal. He's been saddled with mid after mid after mid after mid after mid. And after a while, he just wants a good situation so he can show his talent, get his bread. He don't got too many at 20 years old. You don't got too many contracts ahead of you. And then fast forward to the Ravens trade to him. You get to play with Lamar Jackson. You get to play on a team that's competing for postseason and whatnot. And at that point, if you bring me in, you kind of know what my situation is already. You know, I've never been nothing less than a wide receiver one. So at the very least, I want to start. Number two, I'm in a contract year. At the very least, I want similar amount of snaps that I was getting in Carolina, where I was getting peppered with targets, right? And also at the very least, I don't want to be insulted on a depth chart. My resume says that I'm the most accomplished receiver on this team. If you look at 17-game career averages, the only person that can really look at Deontay Johnson in his face and in his eyes is Zay Flowers. That's the only person that's putting up numbers on the pace that a Deontay Johnson has put up. At a certain point, your resume has to matter. If I'm in the NBA and I average 25 points per game and I've averaged that for 7 years, you can't look at me and tell me there's some other nigga that's going to play ahead of me that hasn't put that up and me not want to raise a stink about it. Now, quitting, not coming into the game, I think that's something to where as an organization, you have to have a heavy hand on. You can't allow that because, it sets a bad precedent, right? And you don't want that type of stuff in the locker room. But my point is, how do we let it get to that point to where he's refusing to get into a game? If you trade for him, number one, you're supposed to give him a role that's commensurate to his talent. Don't be having him behind the depth chart behind Nelson Aguilar. And then when he refuses to come in the game, you're forced to play Nelson Aguilar. And what the fuck does he do? He drops nothing but passes. You wanted Deontay to come in when Bateman was hurt for a reason. But why is the only time you want me to come in when somebody gets hurt? And then the people that you put in suck. When I refuse to go in, right? I refuse to go in. No, y'all let the mid go take care of it. Let Aguilar and Tyler Wallace get open against man coverage. Go ahead. Let me see it done. It didn't happen. We lost the game because of it. Now, as an organization, you can't allow that to happen. As an organization, you also have to take a step back and was like, damn, how do we botch this to a point where he's not even bought in? And John Harbaugh was talking about people earning snaps and, what do you mean earn? Yeah, I'm going to earn if you let me play. Just in there, Ravens media is in there releasing video montages of his 5 targets across the game. In 4 games, it's insulting. If you are human, you're gonna be like, yo, I can understand why he's mad. I'm kind of in the middle with it. I get the organization, and as far as us keeping him, look how petty we're being to him even now. If the dude doesn't want to be a Raven, let him go, let him fly away. We keeping him because we don't want him to go back to the Steelers, or we don't want him to go to a team that's competing so that they can know our playbook or have any intel on our playbook.
I don't want to lose that pick either.
Yeah, the pick is more important.
The 6th or 7th round pick. Oh my God. We won't we won't draft Devin Leary again.
That's like
a quarterback that we never needed.
Yeah.
Oh my God. We have to have that pick. That can't be the reason. At some point, we value his talent a little bit. We value his talent. Be like, what? We don't really want to release him because we just saw what Nelson did. We saw drive 1 of the AFC Championship on 3rd down. We couldn't continue. Nelson dropped the pass.
And it's such a bad franchise that you suspend him. So not only do you suspend him, but then you don't
know what we want to do.
He can't practice. If somebody don't know the playbook, why he can't practice? Don't got to play. Like, I feel like he should be practicing. The reason that he's not practicing, I don't get that. I don't understand why you're not practicing. He's not suspended for nothing that he did outside of football. Let him play football, but he just can't play Sunday. He's still learning the playbook.
You either cut him or you give him a role commensurate to his talent and commensurate to his resume. It ain't no in the middle with this. If he don't want to be on the team, let him go. And if he does, and if you guys want to mend fences, actually mend the fences. But you're not going to sit there and convince me that, number one, Rashad Bateman has earned snaps. We give him chance after chance after chance after chance to fuck up. You're not going to tell me he's earned something. You're not going to tell me that Nelson Aguilar has earned something. It has to be more than he's a good guy, John Harbaugh. It has to be more than being a team player, John Harbaugh. Production has to matter too. And you can't tell me that Deontay can't produce. He didn't just come to the Ravens and forget how to play football.
That's the part. All this got to boil down to John Harbaugh for me. It almost remind me of like when them coaches in college wasn't recruiting one and dones. Like they was just so stuck in their ways. Like that's what Harbaugh remind me of. He's so stuck in his ways that if you ain't a Mr. Nice guy, you ain't out there kissing Make-A-Wish kids, like you can't play on this football team. Anything that go against the grain, anything that make people uncomfortable in Baltimore is a problem. And they find a way to shut you out, shut you down, make you look littler than you should. I mean, when we look at the Eagles game and I see Tylan Wallace, I see Nelson Aguilar, whoever else they put out there getting snaps over Deontay Johnson, somebody who gave the Ravens problems even when he was in Pittsburgh. I mean, he's a route technician. I mean, you even saw him in practice when they were doing a drill. Like the way he runs his routes was one-on-one compared to anybody else on this team. Maybe Zay. So to have that talent on the bench, that production on the bench, I think this all go back to Harbaugh. He can't relate to today's player. And I think at some point, the way the Ravens are as a franchise now, it discounts and it hampers this team. You can't look at what we put out as a product and say that Deontay Johnson can't help this football team. You just can't. This ain't even a Sammy Hammy pickup. Like this is better than that. It should be. So I mean, even the Florida connection, him, Lamar, Zay, it should come in and it should be an easy adjustment in my opinion. Nick talking about you having to earn. Why is he having to earn anything? He's a proven player in this football league.
And you traded.
He's
for
made key catches. He's produced at a high level.
This wanted me,
James Prochet.
I didn't sign with y'all as a free agent.
Yeah.
Y'all traded for my services.
Y'all
I couldn't even pick
So
this destination.
Yeah, y'all called me.
I don't get
I
it.
think
You don't have a role
back
for
to
me.
coaching, man.
I agree, and part of it is also, if you notice, the players have not turned their back on Deontay Johnson. Zay Flowers said, "Yo, we're with him." You know, Rashard Bateman today said, "Yo, people are grown men. Like, you know, that has nothing to do with as far as being a distraction. He's not a distraction for us. Like, he's one of us."
He understands both sides.
Yeah, I mean, Rashard has been one who's been number one, has used social media to speak out against the Ravens and how they kind of go about things, and he has had his hands slapped too. So much so that he had to kiss the ring this offseason and sit there and gallivant about his extension. Like you think he's that excited about that extension? St. Brown was drafted a couple rounds after him and got $100 million. He ain't that happy. He ain't that happy to be over here.
3 for 15, right? Yeah, come on.
So after the game, and this is after Deontay Johnson quit on the team. Speaking to reporters, Jackson said on Deontay Johnson, we want him out there. He's a great receiver. We didn't get him from the Panthers for nothing. So as of right now, our quarterback is all in saying, yo, where he at? I just played a game against one of the best teams in the NFL, and I was waiting for Nelson Aguilar to get open. And actually, he did get open a couple of times. He just can't catch. I was waiting for Tylan to get open. I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting for Tylan. Where is Deontay Johnson? So if he's asking that, and if he's saying we didn't get Deontay Johnson for nothing, why did it seem like we got him for nothing? We literally have him on the bench, 39 snaps in 4 games. How can you make an impact? How can you play enough to where somebody says, you know what, I think other options are better than him? We can't definitively say that because he only played 39 snaps.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with both of y'all points. I just think is a time and place, and even now the Ravens in the position they in, and 4 games left, and the focus is on Deontay Johnson. I just don't like it. Like, I think the focus need to be elsewhere. And you know, getting ready for the Giants, getting ready for a road game. You know, hopefully you just go in there and take care of business, then get ready for the Steelers. You know, who could come in here and win a division on your home field. It just seemed like coming out of reporters action. It's not a focused team. You come out of bye, like Scott said, you're supposed to be getting things in order in your bye week. We come out of the bye week, goddamn more chaos. It's not like it's ridiculous.
It's always self-induced, Keys. It's not like the chaos will just be showing up on our doorstep. We always force it. We always create it. Last year, we had fired Greg Roman. Not last year, the year before, we had fired Greg Roman across the whole facility. Like, all of this is self-inflicted. You trade for somebody, we lost in Kansas. We lost versus Kansas City last year because we ain't had nobody that consistently beat man coverage. They literally dared us, beat us in man coverage, homie, and we couldn't block and beat us in man coverage. We couldn't block. We couldn't beat nobody in man coverage. We got somebody that historically in his career pretty good against man coverage.
Mm-hmm.
We lost to the Eagles. They was playing man coverage. So if we talk about being focused, well, we should be focused on doing things well that teams try to take away from us. And if we're trying to do things well that teams try to take away from us or teams try to force us to do, we should be trying to get him involved.
Yeah,
just a thought. Or go with Tylen. You know, John Harbaugh, you got it.
Something gotta be done though. It's just you can't. I mean, it's just lack of focus. I mean, but it's an 8-5 team, and you got 5 losses for a reason. I mean, you hear, but what's that thing they level against the coaches that don't got in college that don't got control of their program? Like that's what this is. Like it's just he should be the level 1 offender, because he don't got control of anything. Like you got your defense coordinator that you probably if he wasn't like his his protege, he any other team would fire him after the season. He would get 1 year that you obviously not ready, you'll be fired. I understand I found him mid-season, whatever. You might not want to do that. But after the season, you'll be fired. He's not going to be fired. John Harbaugh going to come back again. The Ravens may get in the play, they will get in the play. The way it's set up, teams just too goddamn far back. So they're going to get the playoffs. Whether they
97% chance again.
Yeah, whether they win or not, whether they win a game or they don't win a game, but it's going to be status quo. That's the problem here. When you got other coaches in your division, I think John Harbaugh was the worst coach in the AFC North, and that's me. A lot of people would say Zach Taylor's terrible. Well, he might be, but
he might be.
But when you talk about Tomlin, we all know who Tomlin is, and Stefanski's a 2-time coach of the year. Like, it's a reason he's a 2-time coach of the year. He's a hell of a coach.
You give him a decent stretch.
Yeah. I mean, they play hard for him.
All right.
They play hard for him.
I told you this, if they fired John Harbaugh, I would take Kevin Stefanski in a heartbeat, dog. Like he's dial it up. He's that good of a coach. So yeah, it's just like I said, we've been saying this for years now. And we're gonna talk about Justin Tucker the same thing. This Ravens team can't win the big game with this present John Harbaugh. Like people don't understand. Like he won that championship with Reed and Ray. That wasn't his players. They wasn't part of his culture. Ever since he developed his culture, he hasn't won shit.
Let me touch that, Keys. Pause. Wow. Let me touch on that. Let me touch on that subject.
Let me touch on that. Sound crazy too. So
let me discuss.
Yeah.
Further.
Let me pick up where you left off.
God damn. What was we talking about? Hold on.
I don't even know.
The culture, how I got lost, how it wasn't his culture that won the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah.
Ever since his culture been instilled, they ain't won.
So I saw a group of fans saying that in 2012 there was adversity. In 2012 we had a rocky regular season and we were able to win road games en route to winning the Super Bowl. And I'd like to challenge everyone to, if you want to go down that road of comparing and contrasting, let's compare and contrast. I mean, 2012 you didn't have a shortage of Hall of Fame veterans. Obviously, about Ray Lewis and Ed Reed, but you had the Suggs. I think Nadas should be a Hall of Famer. You had people like Matt Burke on the offensive line. Obviously, he wasn't a lifelong Raven, but he came in and demanded respect and was a stalwart on the offensive line. You had Anquan, you had Yonda, you know what I mean? And then you had other players like the Flaccos, like the Ray Rices, so on and so forth. I don't remember if it was Kelly Gregg still on the team. You had some guys on the team that
you had a kicker that can make kicks.
You had the younger version of Justin Tucker, amongst others, right? And then now you look at the team; it's not veteran laden. You have Marlon, but is he your quintessential leader? He's more lead by example, right? Lamar Jackson, he's more lead by example. Who is your guy that? And I just shelled off 6-7 names off of memory, and it's 12 years ago. You know what I mean? Like as of right now, though, can you name 6-7 people as far as leaders on this current Ravens team? Vets. That was a veteran heavy team in 2012 as well. You know what I mean? We have a lot of young players this year. I mentioned it before the season. This was kind of going to be our version of the Chiefs punt season last year, right? Last year, the Chiefs really weren't supposed to win the Super Bowl, but they did anyway. They had went young, and they put a lot on Patrick Mahomes' shoulders, and he was able to take care of what he needed to take care of, along with the Chiefs defense as well. This year, similar strategy where we put a lot on Lamar's plate, and from game one has been Lamar save us. And you know what I mean? We're 8-5 with Lamar save us being our game plan. It shows that you can put your faith in him, but at the same token, I mean, to sit there and act like we have the veteran leadership we had 12 years ago, had the Hall of Fame veteran leadership we had 12 years ago, it's a fallacy. We don't. We have a bunch of young players that are coming into their own. With a lot of young players that are the first time in these roles that they're playing too. A lot of first-year starters or second-year starters. This ain't 2012, so stop talking about 12 years ago.
Y'all brought up Justin Tucker, who suited up for the Browns yesterday. Salute. Did y'all bring in any competition for him during the bye? Or we still rocking with Justin Tucker? Justin Tucker, we trust. Rural Farms Chicken.
Hug your neighbor's skull. Yeah, hug your neighbor's skull. That's what we did. I mean, we found somebody, held their hand, recited in prayer, and we rejoiced with our neighbor and hugged our neighbor, because you know what, in the NFL and especially in life as well, more hugs.
Yeah. Harbaugh said he spoke with Justin Tucker Skull and believes he's come back from the bye week in a good place.
Really? He spoke with him. Oh.
What I really want to say, we can't say on his camera.
With him. Yeah, all is well. All is well.
Because what did he do during the bar break that he come back that all of a sudden he's so taken care of and he's well now?
John had the magic talk. He had the magic talk.
Them cookies. Them cookies.
Maybe him and John Harbaugh spent the break together. How about that?
Gave thanks over Royal Farms.
Yeah.
Like,
got a friendly size fountain drink,
Nah, man, I'm all for him. I'm all for him. If he missed like a anything less than a 45-yarder and or any extra points, he got to go. You can't play him no more after that. You can't. And then New York we're gonna be swirling. So I hope he do miss like a 48-yarder and then like just get him out of here. But now you can't win. I'm not confident. My confidence level is like 3 with him taking him into the playoffs. So I couldn't. There's no point.
Yeah. I saw the ACC one on a 58-yarder this past weekend, and blistering cold. So Tucker.
I saw the Dolphins kicker can make 250 yards to send it overtime, and like they tie the game up and send it over. Like it's weird what's going on.
I'm watching the Chiefs take people off the street and they kicking game-winning field goals.
They got Eric Reed kicking the ball off, and he's giving touchbacks.
Yeah,
get this guy Justin Tucker out of here, man. Seriously.
The thing about Justin as well, I mean, it's just again failure. It's failure to keep things at production, right? Like we're dealing John Harbaugh is dealing too much with his feelings, right? With Tylan Wallace and Nelson Aguilar, there's nothing logical that says they should be playing over Deontay when you traded for Deontay. Right, it's all about the feelings, the camaraderie. He likes these guys as men, so he wants them to be in positions to succeed. I get that, but this is a football team. It's results based. Same with Justin Tucker. Like you have this relationship with Justin, right? And as a human, you love him and you hate to see him struggle. And he's having a hard time compartmentalizing the human aspect of his job versus the professional aspect of his job. And somebody said it, and I fully agree. If John Harbaugh wants to ride on Justin Tucker's coattails, cool. Let that be for good and for bad. So if Justin Tucker continues to struggle and you putting your job on the line for that, by all means, stick by him. Right? And on the flip side, you know what I mean? You get a kudos if he turns it around. But if he don't, that's your job. Both of y'all should be out of the job. How long do you have to see ineptitude?
Did you see the Saints coach yesterday to their punter?
Oh my God.
During the game? Laid them out.
Yeah, he did.
No hugs. There wasn't no hugs and kisses. That's
hell nah. That was not a nice conversation. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that right now. All right, let's confidence level going in the defense. going further, rest of the season, playoffs. They have turned it around slightly. Do you think it's something that they can sustain going forward?
Yeah, I do. I mean, that's the crazy part about all this. The loss to the Eagles, the loss to y'all. Like the defense is playing really well. Like the defense has turned the corner ever since the Darius Watson has been inserted into that lineup, and bum ass Eddie Jackson has been cut, and bum ass Marcus Williams has been benched. It's been better. It's been what we expect. Now there's still all holes there, that's still like you said, but they're not giving up the touchdowns and they not, it's communication here. It's not getting the defense getting blown over the top like that. Like is Marlon making a lot of still making his plays. Even Malik Harrison is playing better now. So I think the defense, maybe it just took this long to get it together, but we'll see. Because still they still situational. Third down, situational. When the blitz, when not the blitz, is still a mess. So we'll see. But I do have confidence only because we're working off of what I've seen the last 3 games. And what I've seen the last 3 games has been impressive. Anyway, a step in the right direction.
Yeah, I mean, confidence level, I'd say it's a 6 or a 7. I mean, I don't think it'll be as bad as we saw. Also, don't think this unit. I think this unit can definitely be had. I think we've been fortunate to play some teams that kind of aided in how effective we've been on defense. I mean, obviously the Eagles, I don't think they have the most explosive offense like that to begin with. I think they are good at what they do, which is grinding out yards, running the ball. But as far as explosiveness, I haven't seen that in their office in a long time as far as passing game is concerned. Obviously, Saquon is explosive, but I'm just talking about in the passing game, to be honest. And that's kind of where we were getting threaded. We've definitely made some adjustments. Darius, you mentioned, Tre'Davious White mixing in some of the corners that, Brandon Stevens hasn't seen the field as much. We've been toying with different pass rush packages as well. So, I mean, Zach Orr is trying everything, and it's definitely been a unit that's improving. And I think they had a come to Jesus moment. Humphrey talked about in a practice session or film session where, it was like, yo, if you want to play, you're going to get out on the field. If you want to play well, you're going to get on the field. And if you don't, you're not. And as simple as that, we've seen some improvement, but albeit, it's the Steelers, the Chargers, and the Eagles, who, again, I don't profile those offenses as the most prolific aerodynamic offenses. I think they're solid offenses. I think they're great teams, but I don't put them in the same level as I put the Bengals offense or something like that, or the Bills offense, right? So again, it's going to depend on matchups in the playoffs. I don't think they're going to be the unit that is going to be selling us down the river like they had been. I do think they're going to be able to compete in the playoffs, and the whole season I was talking about just make a few plays. We got to get back to turning the ball over. That's really what it is. That's the difference between us. That's the biggest difference between us this year and last year. We don't get any turnovers outside of Marlon Humphrey, and you're going to give up more yards if you're not turning the ball over, right? If the team can't get yards if they don't have possession of the ball. Right. So we're not turning nobody over, and it's causing issues elsewhere. So we got to get back to being ball hawks. And also, just in totality, we got to get back to playing a complete football game. We can't just have offense for most of the season. Then once the defense starts playing well, everything else falls apart. So we got to get right.
Yeah, I'm about to say, in addition to the turnovers, the penalties, that's been killing us too. So my confidence in the defense, though, is like a 7, 7.5. As long as you can get the couple stops I think you're going to need in a football game, especially in January where the possessions are a lot less than normal. Game shortens. You're going to need some stops. You're going to need some sacks. You're going to need to be able to get off the field on 3rd and short. Got to hold off on them holding penalties on 3rd down, just staying on the field. So my confidence in them is like a 7. I do think they've looked better over the past couple weeks. But like Nick alluded to, if you can't play complimentary football, it won't mean much anywhere.
All right. Got one more question. Is the AFC North out of reach? Are we just locked into the wild card?
I mean, math, right? No, like mathematically, no. Like you can still catch them. Y'all have a tough game in.
Who was them?
Beat the Giants.
Who's them?
Acknowledge us.
three Ravens and one Steeler. So anyway, so yeah, you gotta no. So it's not out there. But do I think the Ravens catch them? No, I just don't think they end the like I said, they end the season with the Bengals. Because even if the things work out where they got the same record, if the Ravens beat them, I think the Steelers would still have the tiebreaker because the division record would still be the same, and y'all got a way better conference record than us. So I think is. Yeah, so I mean, technically no, but yeah, I think that the Steelers gonna wrap up this division very soon.
Yeah, the Ravens are, right now, as we stand today, are 2 games back of Pittsburgh with a 19% chance of winning the division. So I have a 19% vote of confidence there, Skull. As far as the whole outlook, though, I mean, Keys mentioned it. Tiebreakers are what's going to do us, and you guys could lose the next 2 and still be ahead of us, which speaks to when people say things like, when we lose to the Raiders, we just give a game away to the Raiders. People online will say, "Oh my God, it's just week 2. Why are you tripping about losing to the Raiders? It's just week 2." Well, here we are, where a conference loss could come back to bite you, and that's just how it is. You got to win the games that you're supposed to win. So they told us we overreacted after the Raiders after we went off for the Raiders.
I mean,
a loss in conference to a team like the Raiders,
you know what it means. If it was an NFC team,
and if we hadn't handled business in a few other games, it might really have bigger consequences when you're talking about the home fields versus the Chiefs or home field versus the Bills. But we're not even there yet because we didn't mess that up already. So
yeah, I would say, I mean, the way we constructed, I historically, I like us on the road anyway. Keep us out of Baltimore in January. I'm cool with us going on the road.
Damn.
For real. Okay. That's where I'm at with it. But I was going to ask y'all, did y'all see that? Did you see that? I guess that question that Jeff Zreback asked John Harbaugh earlier today.
What he asked?
He said he asked him whether he was concerned about the player buy-in, given there's been 3 instances of vets disenchanted with their roles. Harbaugh said he's not, believes guys are working hard and in a good place. And then Jeff had alluded to saying that initially Harbaugh thought he was talking about the frustrations in the wide receiver room. So it just, like, to me, it just goes back to, like, are you even connected to your team? What 3 wide receivers did you have issues with?
Bateman had something on his fake Instagram last week where he was talking about his role. So talking about his roles, you know what I mean? And Zay, he's shown public frustrations, like at post plays, jumping up and down, mad. They, and to probably Jeff's point, that's probably not the only frustrations. You had Marcus Williams, you had Eddie
I think he's talking
about
Marcus Williams, Eddie, the vets. That's what I think he was getting.
Yeah, you had other people.
Zay and them still young.
It's a lot of people not knowledgeable of what their role and contribution should be on a team, and that's the main thing that John should be doing, being that he's not Andy Reid, he's not Mike Tomlin, he's not Bill Belichick. He ain't drawing nothing up on any side of the football. Can't even draw you up good special teams. Can't get you an onside kick. Punt coverage ain't the best. You know what I mean?
This the same guy that challenged the replay assist. This guy challenged replay assist.
The one thing he could do is be an expert communicator.
Yeah,
that's the one thing he could be, but he's not even that.
And Sco, you saw Hard Knocks?
Saw bits and pieces, yeah.
So I don't know if it's just the way they produced it, but the fact that, like, it seemed like Tomlin was in on every meeting. Like,
yes,
with special teams, defense.
That was the biggest takeaway.
He meeting with Minka 1-on-1. Like, it's just like that.
Minka was in the meeting with the whole coaching staff by itself.
Yeah, like that told me something. Like,
yeah,
that said a lot. And I'm just looking at that, like, And maybe they just don't show that to John, but even
No,
the
it
clips
don't.
with John
We
is
know
like,
John has
it don't.
To that point,
We
I
know John.
really-
John, no benefit
pass
of no
one
doubts
day,
around
but-
this one.
when Keys went through the hierarchy of
Yeah.
coaches in the AFC North, I think Hard Knocks, just from one episode, they really displayed
They
that
showed it.
really well.
Yo, they talk football.
Harbaugh was
Stefanski
talking.
and Tomlin talk football.
Yeah, Harbaugh was talking, and it was like, yo,
I call him a guidance counselor.
I can see why
Yeah.
nobody buys in. I didn't believe a fucking word he said.
He
Yo,
insurance
you
salesman. That's like
Yeah.
he
He out there,
salesman.
yo, it's so bad. He
Just
out
he
there in the
sounding nice.
cold.
He'll pro
We
medical
know
and shit.
AFC North gets cold. He's outside in the cold, and the guy's like, "Are you cold?" He's like, "Hell yeah, I'm cold. You want me to go get you another jacket?" Yo, what?
Yeah.
Little shit like that, where it's like, yo, you supposed to be the leader. Mike Tomlin out there, Black Air Forces, he's clapping it up. No matter, and cold.
Harbaugh the guy.
How long you been in Baltimore?
His preparation with Harbaugh, like even him talking to Herbig, like they brought Juice here for y'all. Like he's getting them ready for that from Tuesday on. Like he's telling them, you gonna beat Zeus all week. And then once he do Sunday, he beat him. Like he said, that's coaching.
They went out and got Zeus because Alec Highsmith whooped their last left tackle's ass. Know what you dealing with. Like you said, he offensive meetings, defensive meetings, special teams.
But think about that.
One-on-one. Yeah.
Think about that, Sko. The fact that your coach is in on every meeting, and then on the flip side, look at the criticisms we've had of John over the past several years. When we stop running the ball, right? In a pressure pack situation, we'll stop running the ball or we'll abandon the things that we do most. Is John the person that steps in and intervenes at any point? Maybe he doesn't intervene because he's not the guy that's in every single meeting paying attention to every single detail. At this point, he's been so hands-off that he believes his best opportunity is to trust what the offensive coordinator is telling him or trusting what the defensive coordinator is telling him. He's not coach enough to be locked in on every single detail and say, wait, this don't look right. Let's do this. He's not locked in enough.
Yeah, I mean, it just like to your point, Keep like about the meat. It's like same thing with your kids. Like you instill things in your kids. You tell them, you encourage your kids, and when they come home with A's, you're not surprised. What do you tell them on the sideline? I'm not surprised. Like this, I instilled. This is what I expect from you. This is like you got, and that's not what we give them all ball. You don't get that. Like you got, like you said. I think you said when
go for Lamar. Wow.
Nick said it earlier. It's like nobody knows what the expectation is. Like Tomlin tell him like, I expect you to go out there and beat Zeus. This is what we bought. This is why you here. I'm still this confidence in you. That's all. It's still confidence in your players, man. We don't get that. You don't get that from all ball.
One more point before we move on. Him talking about our wide receiver 2 situation, which was highly criticized, especially by me. It still needs to be fixed, but he goes out there after Van Jefferson gets a touchdown and Mike Williams makes a play and Scotty Miller. He goes, look, I've always had confidence in those guys. That's what I expect them to do. That's why they're here. That's why I make decisions. Stop second guessing me. Hey, cool. All right, cool. That's the second time you reflect on me.
Every call he making is right this year, so he can talk.
That's the second time you reflect on me. When Russ went out there and did that, you said that's why I get paid the big bucks. Hey,
and look at the other guy and his decisions. Are they the right ones?
It's cold.
Yo, if y'all get a chance, watch it, yo, really, because Harbaugh ain't say nothing the whole Eagles game. But come on, Tuck.
I told y'all the situation is like I think I texted you. It's like the water boy where he like John Harbaugh is the water boy coach. And Tomlin is the other coach from the big school. Remember he was calling with the heels on and the broken phone and shit. That's Harbaugh. He the water boy coach.
Now
scared and shit.
Scary.
Let's get to some takeaways. We saw a hell of a game yesterday between the Rams and the Bills, and that was 44-42. And even though the Bills came up short in the win column, brother Josh Allen had himself a game that you'll probably never see outside of Lamar Jackson. He had 23 completions, 342 yards, 3 touchdowns, 10 carries, 82 yards, and 3 touchdowns on the ground. He accounted for 6 touchdowns.
Yeah, man.
Nothing short of what was his fault.
Football's a team game, bro. If nothing shows you that, goddamn.
Yes, sir.
That was a good game to watch, though. Man.
And shout out to Matt Stafford. He's amazing when he gets offense. It's amazing what you can do when you get some protection and his offensive line is coming back.
He can still throw it around the yard for sure.
He can still fling it.
I know it's a loss, but I mean, It's not too many more MVP productions that you need to see before you
Just give him his
It's
MVP.
my vote.
Yeah.
All right, he got my vote.
He deserved one in his career.
Yeah. Along with that, with his resume, what he's doing this year, and you predicted it.
They locked up the AFC East before December 1st. Like, let's wrap it up. Wrap this.
No, he had to fight the Stephon Diggs allegations. Like, okay,
yo, Stephon Diggs merchant.
Bet. Let me throw it to Khalil Shakir and make him turn him up. Now he's turned up.
Yeah, giving life to Amari Cooper. Yeah. I mean, Mac Hollins is catching passes for touchdowns.
Let me turn up Mac Hollins. This nigga don't even wear shoes.
He don't wear shoes.
Yeah, he don't even wear shoes.
He don't even wear shoes.
First game in NFL history with over 850 combined yards, no turnovers, no sacks.
Yeah, them dudes was on one yesterday. That was a great game. Great game.
Speaking
of a great game, but it wasn't as flashy. Chiefs squeak out another one.
That was a great
kicker. Kicker doinks it, but it went in. It went in.
Matt Wright's perfect on the season.
Yeah,
he's been on 2 teams kicking for 2 teams.
And they had somebody before that who got hurt, who was kicking.
Yeah, and he was doing pretty well too.
And he was making them too.
Amazing.
Yeah, soccer player.
Our special teams guy can't find a just to put on the practice squad, just to hover around. You know, somebody struggling, just to hover over your shoulder, just to. You better make this.
Somebody to beat you to practice. Somebody to be at practice before you practice.
Kick you in the ass. Yeah, that's what Tucker needs.
So
he got too much dip on his chip right now.
This guy probably ride around the Royal Farms in the morning collecting.
Everybody don't deserve a just you, and everybody don't need a commercial.
I'm telling you, the kickers should not have endorsements. I stand by that. Just kick.
Mike Vinatieri, I don't remember him being on TV.
Nah. Matt Stover. I don't even know Matt Stover.
Matt Elam.
I don't remember this.
Yeah, Mort Anderson. I don't know what none of them guys look like, right? I know what my kicker look like. That's it. But as far as the Chiefs go, my kick was great. As far as the Chiefs go,
Jason Elam. I said Matt Elam. I'm not hurt.
Nobody knows what Matt Elam looks like either.
Yeah.
I was going to stop you, but I thought about it. I was like, Matt.
I was let you slide. I was like, I know what he meant. I know what he did.
I was sitting there thinking, like, hold on, that wasn't right.
No, nobody know what he looked like either. But as far as the Chiefs, hey man, the point differential is looking a little Steelerish when we went 11-0, right? But the difference is they have Andy and they have Pat. I know last year was their punt year. Is this something that can continue?
I'm so happy you added that disclaimer. I thought you was about to make the comparison.
I'm pretty good.
But got the damn defense. Y'all defense was like that in 11.
Hell no. But point differential is point differential.
What was the question? I'm sorry.
Can it continue?
Yeah. I think what we've seen is you got to beat them. They more beatable than ever before, but they still not going to beat themselves. Simple as that. So if you do with Los Angeles last night and miss the tackle like that, he's going to beat you every single time. So that's what I get from that. I think, like I said, they're more beatable, but if you don't beat them, they will be raising another Super Bowl trophy.
Honestly, you guys are kind of molded. You guys are kind of molded after the Chiefs as far as how you guys are playing football. Both are leading with their defense. Both are trying to win the turnover battle. Both are trying to establish the run, and both rely on keeping the game close and winning in the fourth quarter. The only difference is Patrick Mahomes is 101, and he's the difference maker in any setting. He's the one quarterback that, regardless if you're having an MVP season or not, you look across that field and you see him. You know, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Justin Herbert, Jalen Hurts, name the quarterback. When you look across the field and you see him, you know what's up. And like Key said, and there was a great point, you have to beat the Chiefs. That's not easy. Yeah. You not only have to beat the Chiefs, you got to beat the refs accompanying them. You got to beat and once you win the amount of Super Bowls you've won, you know that no game is ever. They won so many games in so many different ways. They know that it's not over till it's over, and that belief and that confidence makes them that much harder to beat.
Yeah. I think I'm not really worried about them either, Sco. I mean, you talking about a team that's more than likely they should end up the 1 seed. So all things go through Arrowhead. I mean, Nick talked about a punt year last year. Well, a punt year, they went to Buffalo and won. They came to Baltimore and won. So you put them at home, like they one of them teams, man. Like they champs, so they got that pedigree as it is. I think you're gonna see. I think you're gonna learn a lot about them in the next 10 days. They got the Browns, Steelers, and Texans. Well, Browns, Texans, Steelers. I'm sorry, in that order. But I think we'll learn a lot about them in the next 10 days, and they'll start to turn it up. I really think they just wanted them, like they just going through the motions. That's really how I honestly feel.
Hold on, but what else do you want to know about them though?
I don't want to know nothing else about them.
You said you just, I think I understand what you're saying, but you said we're gonna know a lot about them. It's like
I'm just saying to the people who are questioning them.
Oh, well, I got you.
Who questioning who have an issue with the way they've looked. I think they'll know a lot more about them in the next 3 weeks.
And to Key's
and they'll start to turn it up.
To Key's point, and I see where both of y'all going because y'all both agree. But to Key's point, the funny thing is they had those same questions last year before they won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I'll say this, and I'm gonna be as humble as possible, because that is Pat.
Here we go.
Be as humble. No. This is a valid point, though.
Be careful, Skull. Be careful, Skull.
Clip it
careful.
Listen.
I'm telling you.
Hey,
don't give us another Jerry Judy, Skull. Don't give us.
Yeah, 15 is different.
If you clip me up for Pat Mahomes, trust me, I feel a lot better than Jerry Judy. I'm gonna tell you that.
I'm just telling you, tread lightly with him.
No. Very different. But what I'm gonna say is, he getting hit a lot. That offensive line is looking like that offensive line from the Super Bowl year that they lost. I'm only saying because I got a team that will fuck you up.
Listen,
that's all.
I'm not arguing with you.
I want to.
What I'm looking at is them boys coming down Christmas with TJ and them. It's gonna be a problem for the offense all day long.
That's what I'm saying.
It's gonna be a problem.
That's what I'm saying. You put DJ Humphries, you put whoever in front of Alex Highsmith. You put Jawan Taylor. I swear to God,
you don't start on.
No, Jawan Taylor is not good.
Y'all keep forgetting Andy Reid on that side too.
Yeah, Andy Reid just going. What they going to be doing? 5-step drop back? No. They going to be getting the ball out against y'all.
Everybody, he's still getting hit. He getting hit a lot.
That ain't Geno Smith.
The Chargers.
Y'all
The Chargers
learn.
was in his ass.
If y'all don't know, y'all gonna learn.
Y'all don't play them enough to really know what he is. To be honest with you.
What you mean? They know who he is. Hey, yo, at this point, everybody knew who Jordan was.
Everybody know who Lamar is.
You gotta go.
He put us out.
You gotta let that nigga drop 60
on.
We know
who he is. We know who he is. We played him in the playoffs. He make quick work up.
Christmas Day, I'm gonna have my pajamas on Christmas Day. Boy, I can't wait.
All I'm
my
saying,
Grinch mask on.
To Key's point, to beating him.
Y'all gonna put hands on him, man.
Let's
offensive line just not good.
Let's really beat him. You want to beat him? You got to put hands on him. I want him complaining to the ref. Hey. I want him looking at TJ.
Even Cleveland gonna have a. I mean, even Myles Gardner might have a field. I mean, they gonna beat Cleveland because Jameis gonna.
Of course,
3 interceptions.
That's all I'm saying.
They gonna have a problem with that offensive line. I mean,
the way we are constructed on defense and the way that line has been looking all year, it's not too many Super Bowl teams that change their left tackles 3 times, right? Like they having a problem.
You say all this, and they've only lost once.
I know. That's the thing.
They put together a complete game.
Being Jordan, no. And that's the issue.
I think they have a lot of ceiling to attain. That's
the issue.
I think
that's the issue.
Turn it up like they are.
But the way I'm looking at them.
Remember when Kelsey was dead? Remember he was washed? Kelsey.
I always thought he was bored. I always thought he was.
They all bored.
Yeah, I thought so. But now we get
to play 17 games to get back to.
It's not time to be bored.
Win my 3 games to win my Super Bowl.
Don't be bored on Christmas. I don't want that excuse when we fuck.
No, y'all gonna get y'all's on Christmas.
Yeah. Well, the thing about the Christmas game is they 1 loss away from y'all be planning for the 1 seed, so they gonna be ready for y'all on Christmas. Like it's that game gonna be.
I'm glad it means something.
Yeah, it's
glad it means something. They're not resting. I'm glad it means something. And like I said earlier, we want it to mean something. But
don't skip the show.
No. Oh no, I'm not gonna skip for Pat.
Spray Christmas cheer. Yeah,
no, I'm not. We gonna spray Christmas cheer. Brittany gonna be calling the league office.
My husband. Somebody get him some chicken.
I thought we had a deal. I thought the deal was that's all I'm saying. The way that they are constructed up front and the way we are constructed up front, I think, of course, it can continue because they got. Look, It's a reason. It's a reason why the D coordinator don't want to leave. I got a good situation. I'm gonna be the best D.
I'm just saying that. I'm gonna
Well,
put that
I
out
know.
there.
I
I
know.
can't have you this confident.
I
This is
know.
crazy. This is hurting
know.
my heart.
Hey, Cam Hayward, they said you was washed. You go in that game and you show Chris Jones that you still that guy.
Why are you talking about them? You still got to play us and the Eagles. Why are you talking about?
Because they don't respect us, but fine, we got to earn our respect.
You-
Fine, we got to earn it.
I respect that, but still, so the Eagles, you just wrap that game up too.
No, because we was talking about the Chiefs, and
All right,
and
all right.
if they can continue with this, and
Don't
one
lose 3
thing.
straight, bro.
Oh my God, no, can't lose.
Don't lose 3 straight and lose that division now. Don't do that.
That ain't gonna happen. I think this year. I think this year.
It
Tom got
could.
the boys that hit on. It could, but I think Tom got
It
their
could.
head on straight.
It could.
It just
But
take
guess
one,
what?
It take one to get the
These
ball
last
rolling.
4
But it's
games,
Russell Wilson, man. He the difference.
we go 2. We go 2 and 2. We
Russell
go
the
2 and
difference,
2.
man.
Russell showed me a lot yesterday.
If this is still Kenny Pickett, or even if it was Justin, or y'all would have lost
yo.
about y'all.
Yo, dog,
It's Russell,
I'm not-
man. That's it. That's all to it.
He showed me a lot yesterday, yo.
He did what he had to do. Yeah, he did what he had to do. Hey, and he's spreading the ball around to everybody. The last
You
2
gotta do when
weeks,
you don't got your pickings.
yeah,
Because
the last
the wide receiver group still sucks. Najee
It's
still
trash.
can't run. The defense still holy. It's Russell Wilson and Mike Tomlin, yo.
Najee's having a good year. He's gonna get
Man,
paid.
Najee's-
Jalen is too.
Jalen is having a good year.
Y'all
but
give him
it
the
took-
ball.
It took Jalen a minute to get there because he was hurt. But who held it down when Jalen was hurt?
Najee still be running in jeans, man. He still can't find the right. Like,
Oh, and Derrick Henry cut his hair. I don't know if that matters.
He did. He got cornrows now.
Maybe he runs faster now. He needs to cut his beard though.
Who cares?
Yeah, he looked like Benny Siegel.
I'm so done. I'm so tired of this damn team. Like,
Now-
we needed a bye week more than they did. Shit.
Yeah, right.
That's all.
Now,
We better blow the Giants out.
Nick brought this up earlier, and this contract is one that in baseball I do not unless that guy in Kansas City gets to it. He might be the only one that could get to it. But Juan Soto just signed a 15-year, $745 million contract with escalators that can get to $800 million. For the math people out there, $51 million a year.
Any deferred?
None. Give me mine.
Nope. He can take
No.
no deferred money.
No.
I'm not
15.
sure.
How old is he?
26, 27.
He's gonna play that whole contract too. He should.
But he can opt out after year 2029.
At the 5 years, right?
After 5 years, he can opt out.
You get another bigger deal.
and
Just
get
imagine you
another
win 2
deal.
MVPs, the Mets win the World Series next 5 years. Just
I'm
imagine
out.
something like that happen.
I'm
I
gone.
think the collective bargaining going to be renegotiated by then too, isn't it? So it's
They
gonna
gotta
be like
figure
TV
something out.
money and all of that.
They gotta figure something out.
So he definitely gonna get paid.
Shout out to him though. I'm surprised. I can't wait till we know what all the offers. I wonder what the Yankees offer him.
Yankees was $5 million less. 16 years, $5 million less.
You said what?
16 years, but $5 million less. than
So
what
less
the Mets-
than
Oh, so okay. So they wanted another.
So it was
year.
around $48 million a year.
And they couldn't come up and match. They goofy. There's no way that they just say, "Well, we'll just give you the same."
What was
contract.
Otani's number again?
His was 700 flat.
700.
Now
I
I feel
don't-
like
I
he's,
forgot
now I
the
feel like
year.
he's criminally underpaid now because he's about to come off of the Tommy John and pitch now. He gave you 50 for
Yeah.
50 a championship. Now he about to pitch and
And
give you
an
Cy
MVP.
Young level pitching.
And Juan
Nigga, I need
can't
a
play
billion.
defense. Juan can't play defense.
Otani
Juan's
was 10
defense
for
is hard.
700.
And
10
the
for
thing
700.
And the thing about Soto is he gets on base at a generational pace, right? If you look at on base percentage, top 20 all time, but he's not that great of a. He's a decent base runner, but he doesn't steal bases. So when he's on first base, you got to do the most to get him across
him
the
over.
plate. It's not like he's gonna get on base, steal second, put pressure on third. He ain't doing all that. So
So Lindor gonna be crazy though.
the defense he provides,
Subpar. But
we
the
talking about
bat,
25
Yeah,
homers,
it ain't worth
25,
nothing.
30 homers.
Yeah. I mean,
Seven-
they overpaid for the
seven?
cold crush. It was his turn. I didn't think he
I mean,
was
that's
gonna
what
crack
happened. We got
7.
to. Yeah.
I didn't think he was gonna crack 7. Definitely not north of 7. I was thinking like 660. Because of
Got an
everything that
owner
we just
want to
named.
win, and he a fan of the team like Rubenstein. I need to see you spend that.
Now, speaking of, guess what we got, guys? Got Tyler O'Neill.
Tyler O'Neill.
Yeah, who else too? Gary Sanchez.
Yeah. Tyler O'Neill.
Bye-bye,
He had a decent-
Santander.
That all but
He's about to go to a
confirming,
division rival.
probably
They said,
the Blue
they
Jays.
said, they
said
said
Red
Blue
Sox.
Jays, Yankees, and Red Sox all are in.
Man, that short porch in New York.
Why we ain't sign Kyle Tucker? Like, what the
We signed the most injury prone.
Played
why
100
we ain't sign Kyle Tucker still a free agent? Like, why we ain't sign yo?
Why is his bicep so big?
113 games played last year. He hit 30 home runs, had 60 RBIs. His wins above replacement is like a notch above Santander, but again, played 60 less games. He's been injury prone his whole career. He's been up and down.
And it's more the same, Skull, as far as strikeout or homer. Like the philosophy, we thought maybe the philosophy would change. No.
Nah, he's still that level of player. They are bringing in left field. Him being a right-handed batter might benefit him a little bit, but the caliber of player with the money that we think that we have, and as fans that want us to take the next step, I think I'm gonna pepper my my expectations. I ain't gonna hold you. Then we talking about signing Nathan Eovaldi. That's cool, right? But
I do like the fact that Heston can get some platoon time now and has a clear, defined role.
Yeah,
going forward if Santander does not come back. But yeah, Skull, I mean, it doesn't look like we're totally in on Burns. It looks like he might, be a giant or take money elsewhere. So again, how do we upgrade the rotation and we lose an ace? I think we definitely can't go into next season having Grayson be our ace. That's putting too much on him. Yeah, man, it's more. I mean, they said left off a couple years ago. I'm still waiting.
Yeah. If Max Fried, I don't see Max Fried and Oriole connections, but if Max Fried gets signed, then Nathan Eovaldi is the next best, and people are going to throw the bag at him. Or do you want to stand back and wait, or do you just want to throw him the bag now? I mean, he is a viable arm. He's not Corbin Burns, but he is a viable arm, one that I probably trust a little more than Grayson Rodriguez to get a game one start in the playoffs. But other than that,
we back to where we was with this damn
yeah, it's a lot.
Radish don't come back to July, August.
So now you talking Trevor Rogers is still in the mix. K. Povich was decent. You got McDermott, right? It's like, wow, okay. Don't really see the improvement there. I don't know if this was bullshit sources or not, but I did see the team is in talks with making
I think it was.
Is it bullshit or real? Making Adley. Oh, okay.
Making Adley what?
The highest paid
catcher in history. No. It better be. It better be bullshit. you don't make him the highest paid nothing after that season.
And if you signed in Gary Sanchez to be the catcher against left-handed batters, you can't be the highest paid anything. Sorry.
Nope. If you got a platoon, you can't be the highest paid.
Yeah, sorry. I don't want to hear that. You think Pudge was Pudge was the catcher for everybody except for his day off.
And the Joe Mauers of the world. And
man, where weed is
the
at?
Buster Posies, like they did both. And
Nadia Molina.
I think one of y'all mentioned this over the summer. It was just a red flag that most pitchers preferred McCann. Yep. That's a red flag to me.
Yep. When I saw Corbin pitching to McCann game one, I said, whoa.
Yeah, it's a problem.
It's a problem. It's a problem. The fact that we saw McCann so much. Like, wait, is he a DH or is he a catcher?
Yeah, he's supposed to be a catcher so somebody else can DH.
Yeah, what's going on? So the highest paid, you better sign Gunner first. I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna hold you.
If we got a priority, Gunner is number 1, 2, and 3 for me.
Yeah, give me Gunner. Adley with Samuel Basello on the upcome. All right, cool. I'd rather see what he got before you do that. I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't gonna hold you. But hey, salute to Juan Soto, man. Generational money.
To your point, nigga, if we traded a generational player like Manny, I think we could explore Adley because I don't think he's been that guy to where again we paid him historical money coming out of the amateur draft. Like,
yeah,
he was supposed to be
$8 million or
much
something?
better than this.
Yeah, $8 million as a somebody that never touched the field. Like, nah. He's been good, but if I could, my expectation for him going into this year was what 25 home runs and 80 RBIs.
He don't even catch. He wasn't even catching your ace. Why?
And you're not catching my ace.
He's not even catching the ace, man.
Like I
defense is overrated.
Yeah, like the defense
don't swing
that we
at
were
first
promised.
pitches. It's just a lot of weird.
Too conservative, and like swing at the ones that's in your wheelhouse, dog. Be aggressive. That's why Gunner's the man. Gunner's aggressive. Gunner's aggressive at anything. Sometimes he's too aggressive in the field. I can deal with that. It's the Mike Tomlin thing. I'd rather say whoa than sick him. Like you can do that, but I can't get you out of that mindset to say, yo, swing the bat. That is a philosophy that one has since high school. You can't break that. I guarantee you he was like that in high school. I know he wasn't aggressive in high school when they said, hey, put a cap on it. Nah, you know who was aggressive in high school? Bryce Harper. You know who's still aggressive 15 years later? Bryce Harper. So, yeah, I don't really think that that's Adley's game. And you can see it in the leadership, the way that the things played out towards the end of the season. We lacked leadership. And if you want to be highest paid, I need you to galvanize this roster when head coach is making or manager is making questionable decisions. You need to gather everybody else around and say, yeah, I know he's fucking up, but it's on us.
And catchers are usually the captains in those situations. They like the quarterback.
Absolutely. So yeah, let's calm down on that. Let's see what Sandwell got. Maybe Adley get hurt a little bit. I don't want to wish nothing on him, but call him up, see what he got, and hey, trade him before he walks away. Trade him. Get something for him. That's clean.
Go get Garrett Crochet or something. Go get a starting pitcher, man.
I wouldn't be opposed. And I know Nitty Gritty fans, if you're listening this far, when you hear this on YouTube, I know them comments are gonna be hot because I know Adley is y'all golden boy, but I need more from a golden boy.
A big year for him this year, that's for sure. No excuses.
Yeah, 100%.
They try to sprinkle in injury and sprinkle this and okay.
I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, we're gonna see.
I need a gold glove. No boy, I need a gold glove, and I need them 25 home runs, buddy.
How many you have this year? Did he crack 20?
I don't think he did. Hold on.
We can find out.
Big Adley Rutschman. He had 19.
19.
That's ridiculous.
And hit 250.
That's ridiculous.
Nope.
79 ribby.
285, 25 home runs, RBIs, depending on you go up and down the lineup. Cool. But I need them 25 home runs in that 285, and I need a gold glove. Silver slugger. Just for the
base percentage even lower, yeah. He had a bad year.
I mean, 318 on base percentage is not good. And you know, he hit almost 280 the year before. So to go and hit 250 after that.
That slump. He can never get out of that damn slump.
Yeah.
Look, it's like 3-4 months long slump the end of the season.
When the spring start, you already know I was dealing with an injury and played through it. Expect that. That's coming. Cool. But this year, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear it. Especially if you want to be highest paid. I don't want to hear that.
And if you're playing through something that's going to hamper you that bad.
Yeah. Because I already know what the number 2 guy that got drafted behind you, the year that he had last year. What are we talking about?
Yeah, I don't know what to think about. Santander saved his team so much last year, and he didn't have a good year. And now he's not in line no more. So what do you do? Where's
the offense coming from? Outside of Gunnar Henderson, where's the offense coming from?
I guess they're gonna rely on the bringing the wall in and Ryan Mountcastle by my ass. I don't know. There's just a bunch of that's what they're going. That's going. I mean, what I look for, but I mean, I just hopefully now Jordan Westbrook can play every single day. He should not be out of the lineup at all. Like
he earned that.
No more of that bull. That let's start him here. Let's not. Nah, let him play every.
He is an everyday third baseman.
Yes,
I don't want to see him at second. I don't want to. He is an everyday third baseman. Stop doing that shit. Stop doing that shit, Hyde. All right, you got some good. You got some great. He is a third baseman. He is an all-star caliber third baseman. He showed you. He's not a second baseman. You want a second baseman? You shouldn't have traded the one in Miami. All right.
Still gonna come back to haunt you. That Nobi trade still gonna haunt us, dog. I think he was gonna be good. I think Connor gonna be so.
They said they're trying to get Trevor Rogers back to form, and it's like, yo, what are you?
89 miles an hour.
What is back to form? He had one good year. Like that's 8 not years the form.
8 years ago.
The form in first place, he's been ever since.
In a battle for a division title when you traded. Like what was they thinking? What was they thinking, yo? I don't understand it. Like,
I stand by this. I would rather them have stayed pat than to
yes,
see us complaining, because we were, and we had every right to complain, because people make moves when they are buyers at. Look, we got it. Yankees went on a crazy losing streak. Didn't mean nothing. Right?
That was cool, but I'm saying, long as they got Eflin, that was cool. Long as they made one move,
Eflin was cool.
I was cool.
Trevor Rogers.